Hey girls, it has been 3 weeks since my last upload. I'm telling you, dude, I love being a YouTuber, but being a YouTuber and doing college at the same time just does not mix sometimes, so I apologize for being a little inactive. But I hope this build makes up for the lost time I haven't been posting because I sweat so hard on this. This was a little bit out of my comfort zone. I tried to do something new. All my builds are pretty much rainbow sprinkle throw up everywhere, so I toned it down a little bit for this one. We did more of a neutral color scheme, more on the Victorian side. You probably already saw the thumbnail, so you already know how it looks. Originally, the idea for this build was I wanted to make an apartment, right? So I found this tutorial online on my YouTube Discover, apartment template to use. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna try doing that. So I followed this person's template, and I was planning a whole video for this. It just did not turn out well. I couldn't figure out how to fill up the space, so we scrapped it. I was showing Isaac, I was like, how do I make this look better? What do I do? And he said, girl, put that mouse down. We are gonna start from scratch.
What exactly are you doing right now?
I'm currently like wiping my eyebrows. One day when you get older and you have kids, you're gonna be like, back when I was your age, I was playing Bloxburg with these two kids I met online, and we were called the Roaches. I've noticed that my environment or whatever I'm doing in real life impacts how I build. So I started rewatching Bridgerton, which is a Netflix show. So good. I recommend it. It's like a romance period drama based in the 1800s. It's so good. I love the fashion in there. They have sparkly dresses. If society did not judge, I would wear those dresses every day. They're just so cute. And the romance is top tier. All my book readers probably know of Bridgerton. There's a whole book series, which is what the show is based on. I read a few of the books and they're really good. But basically, there's a third season coming out in about a month. So I like to rewatch the seasons to kind of catch up on the plot to remember. And as I was watching it, I was looking at the buildings and, you know, the sets they use for the shows. And they had these beautiful Victorian homes, and I just like the wall trim and all the details they put in the build. So in the show, basically the people, they would marry so fast. They would talk to a guy, and if that person and you vibed a little bit, okay, we're getting married. So then I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Modern day, someone courting someone is like the talking stage of now. A few days ago, I was going through old stuff in my room, just as one does. You know, you find random little artifacts from your life. And I found this letter I wrote to myself freshman year of high school. And it was like, dear future Noelle, when you read this, you'll be a senior in high school. But obviously now I'm a sophomore in college. At this time, you have 40K subscribers. Your best friend is Annex and blah, 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 like just talking about my life. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute because certain things still haven't changed. And then one of the parts of the note said, I hope you become a future architect and go to school for it one day. And I was like, oh my God, I made younger me proud. I felt so accomplished. It was so heartfelt. And at the time when I wrote that letter, I had 40K on my YouTube, right? Now I'm about to hit 500K. Like, what? That is crazy. So thank you guys so much. I genuinely cannot believe I've made it this far. I've been on YouTube for, I think, 6 years now. If you have been watching since the beginning, oh my God, let me give you some cash compensation because that's actually nuts. And if you're a new viewer, thanks for sticking around, girl. I promise my content is good. Don't watch the old stuff though. It's a little questionable. I was looking at some of the old videos and my editing was very concerning. I just did not cut the awkward silences and it was bad. Thankfully, I've evolved. But then again, when I watch videos from 3 months ago, I'm like, dang, that's horrible compared to now. So there's always improvement, which means I'm doing something right. But anyway, my mic for some reason has decided to just stop working every 5 seconds. The cord is faulty or something. Ha, it's Isaac. I feel like Discord's silencing me because every time I call with Annex and Isaac or anyone, it just stops picking up and then it disconnects and then I'm just talking to no one. It's like I'm talking to a wall. That's also kind of what I do for YouTube, but like, in my last video, I kind of talked a little bit about how I wanted to answer more of your guys' questions in future videos and kind of go in depth about certain things. So that is what we're gonna do today. And I kept getting this question asked. So if you didn't know, Annex, Isaac, and I have a Discord server together. And sometimes I'll ping and ask if people wanna ask questions for a future video and then I'll answer it. And a question I keep getting a lot on YouTube and Discord is just how I started my YouTube setup and things sort of along the lines of how do you start YouTube? What do you need for it? I'm gonna tell you the whole process of how I became a YouTuber and what happened. So when I started YouTube, I was about 13 years old and I used to play on my family PC, which didn't have a mic. That's why my videos in the beginning, there was no voice or commentary. It was just speed builds because it was just pretty convenient. Speed build is literally just speeding up a video. No voice needed. It was just music. So I would do that. And the thing was too, where I would play was this office right next to my kitchen. I'm sure if you guys play on a family computer, you know your family's just always around and they're so loud and it's just, Ugh, annoying, respectfully. So when I started my YouTube, there was really no option. Like I didn't voice chat, I didn't do any of that because my family was just always around. Usually what I would do if I was voice chatting was I would use the house phone because I was 13, I didn't have a phone. And I would call up my friend on the house phone and me and her would just play Roblox together. So that's how I actually played Roblox and got into Bloxburg, because me and her would call and then we would play it together. Before all this happened, before I was on a computer, I didn't know that Roblox was actually a PC game. I thought it was only phone. So I literally played it on my Kindle Fire, if you guys know what that is. It's like an old tablet. It's like the knockoff version of an iPad. So I would play on that, and then my friend told me that it was actually a computer game. So then that's why I went on the family computer, because I didn't have a laptop. I was 13, bro. 13. Literally shared a bedroom, everything. Eventually I kind of worked up a goal where I really wanted a laptop, but I have strict parents, so they didn't let me get those things. They weren't gonna buy me that. They weren't gonna do any of that. So I needed to find an alternate option, right? So obviously when I started my YouTube, I was like, okay, what else can I get out of it besides just Robux? I could eventually save up and then buy my own laptop and then eventually get a PC in my room. And this took so much convincing because, as you know, parents are very overprotective. So if you're exposed to the internet, there's obviously a bad side to it, but not all of us are doing that. I'm just trying to play Roblox, dude. I'm just trying to play Bloxburg and build a house. So for the longest time, my mom was like, no, you're not getting a laptop. You're not doing this. You don't need it. You have the family computer. And I was like, okay, whatever. Mind you, I have siblings, so I had to share with them. So we'd have timers. So like during the day, they'd be like, Noelle, you have 30 minutes on the computer, and then you have to give it up for your sibling. So that was really annoying. Definitely limited my time, but somehow I was more consistent then than I was now, because I used to literally upload multiple times a day speed builds, but also Bloxburg building was a lot more simpler, so I blame that too. I'm a lot more intricate and detailed with my builds, so they take a lot longer. As you guys can tell by my upload schedule, I apologize. As time went on, I was literally glued to the computer because I just loved building so much and my family PC was where it was. So my mom then decided to ban Roblox on the Wi-Fi. So I had to find another alternate option around this. So I had to eventually learn how to hack into the website domain and then get it unblocked so I could play. And eventually she was learning my dedication. So at this time, we also had moved houses. So I finally had my own bedroom, which means I get new furniture and I get my own stuff. So I got a desk in my room and I was like, oh my God, this is the perfect time to convince my parents to let me get a laptop and I'll buy it myself. It's very fulfilling when you're able to afford and buy stuff for yourself without asking your parents, especially at the age of 13. I feel like that's a very big flex. My mom at the time, because I was doing YouTube at such a young age, she didn't let me buy a lot of stuff because one, I was 13. Like, what do I need at that age besides my tech stuff for my YouTube? And I'm glad she did because I saved it all for college. Bless. I am not in debt. So I got my laptop. I got a Lenovo Legion. So if you're looking for a laptop to get, that's a really good gaming one. But I will say it's very heavy and it does sound like an airplane when I'm literally playing Roblox. But it did the job. It had a good processor. At least I think so. I used to edit and everything on it and it was good. This also leads me to my other point. It's so easy to start a YouTube channel. The recorder I use is OBS and it's free. Anyone can get it. I do use Premiere, which is an Adobe product, and that's a little bit expensive. If your school has an account, you can use it for free under your school account. And there's also a student discount. So there's some ways around it. If you have an Apple device, you get iMovie for free. And then I think a lot of people use CapCut. I think that's free. I don't know though. So then at this point, I finally got my laptop. It's time to get a mic. Obviously the laptop does not have a mic attached, so I still couldn't talk. I just used my phone, which was like really confusing because when you're wearing headphones, you can't really hear out of your phone. So I was like, okay, maybe I do need to get an actual headset because I was using this old headset I used for Spanish class when we used to do Rosetta Stone in school. I hope you don't know what that is because it was torture. Torture! So then I bought my very first headset, which was from Razer. I love Razer. Razer, please sponsor me. I will say the headset was so good and it came with the headset attachment mic. The mic, not so good, but it did its job for its time. And I kept that headset mic all the way up to 100K because I didn't voice reveal until 100K. So when I did my voice reveal, it was on that headset mic. And if you watch it, I did it on my Blush Mansion video, which unfortunately and fortunately, it is my most viewed video, but I don't sound like that anymore. I think I matured a lot. But if you watch a video from a year ago, I probably don't sound like that either. But the headset quality was so bad because it was a headset mic. What do we expect? You need an actual mic. I was on that laptop for I think 2 years. And then eventually I did save up to buy an actual PC because the series of events is iPad, family computer, laptop, then PC. And I was getting at the point where I liked playing a lot of games. I liked Minecraft, Roblox, all that. So I was like, okay, it makes sense for me to get a PC because I'm in high school now and I do all this homework. So it's just more easier if I had a computer in my room instead of a laptop. And then it would just be better for graphics wise and editing because I needed more storage for all the videos I was doing and a better processor and all these little specs. It's just better for editing in general. So it just made sense to get a computer. So I got one. Best decision ever. After having a computer, I hate using a laptop now because one, the trackpad is so annoying. I literally rage. Whenever I use my school laptop, which has a trackpad, oh my God, I lose my mind. It's just such a tiny little space and it's uncomfortable and I like my mouse. I'm a mouse girl, okay? So when I got my computer, that's when I got my infamous pink keyboard too, which I still have to this day. This keyboard is probably like 4 or 5 years old, and it still works. It's been dunked in water, dropped down the stairs, but it still stands, and I can't replace it. At one point, it did give me a little death scare. I thought it was gonna die, but it didn't. We are blessed to still have it today. I think I should name it at this point because it's a canon event on my channel. I've had my computer since, and it is wonderful. I have 2 monitors, but realistically, you don't need that crazy of a setup. I was able to do YouTube on all different types of devices. Maybe not mobile, but I have seen mobile YouTubers, so it is possible. If you have a family computer, a laptop, or anything, you can do YouTube on any of that. It's more just you need to download programs. I would say get OBS. If you want to talk in your videos, just make sure you have a mic. I use a Rode NT USB. It's a great mic. I've had it for 4 or 5 years now, and I've never had an issue until now, but that's fine. I'm just gonna replace the cord. I would say it was worth it. And if you guys have other questions about YouTube, just ask them in the comments and I will answer. And I will say when I first started commentary, I was so self-conscious of my family hearing me talk, because when you first start commentary, you're like, oh my god, what do I say? I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to a screen right now. Like, you guys aren't actually here, but when you watch this, I'm actually talking to you. So like, hey guys, it takes some time to get used to. Commentary is a little bit weird. It's very foreign. When I first started, I hated it because it was just weird talking to myself. But now I literally don't care. I will scream and yell at my screen. Like yesterday, I was recording the other part of this video. My mom walked in and she asked, who are you talking to? I was like, no one. And she's like, what are you doing? And I told her I'm recording a video, but I'm like literally talking to myself because it's a commentary. Yeah, people probably think I'm having a conversation with a random person, but no, I'm just talking to myself. So if you are gonna do commentary or you want to learn how to do it, just know it is really a learned skill. Practice does make perfect. I wouldn't even say I'm perfect at it. I would say I'm a well-seasoned commentator. You can literally watch my old commentaries. They are humbling, to say the least. When I watch them, I try not to. I avoid them. But it is a showing of growth. As funny as it is now, commentaries are my favorite video to make. Look at the switch of that. But anyway, tomorrow I have an exam. It's quite funny because I take 4 architecture classes right now and 1 math class. And the math class is just to fill a prerequisite for my college because last semester I took the wrong one by accident. And for some reason, I'm taking a harder math now and I'm doing better in it because my teacher is so good. She is amazing, and she holds these office hours, which are basically where you go to get extra help and do extra work just to, better your education. And I go to all of them. They're at 8 a.m. on Mondays. But I go because I want to make sure I get a good grade. And I put so much effort into this class when it's literally not a core class for my major. In the harder class, I have a better grade than I did in the easier one. Kind of ironic. And the final I have tomorrow, I literally have not studied at all. But I feel like it's kind of common sense. It's urban planning stuff. It's health in the urban environments, to be exact. Except my teacher. So the class is 3 hours long. I cannot retain my attention for 3 hours. Usually by the 20-minute mark, I'm on Pinterest scrolling and shopping because I can't do it anymore. And I asked my other friend who's in the class, and he said that he hasn't studied either. So I feel better. I feel fine. So tomorrow we're just gonna wing it. By the time this video comes out, we'll see how I do, if I have the grades. But last semester when I took my finals, this is what I do, right? I take the finals and then I completely forget about them and never check my grade, which I probably should. Like, I check my final GPA, but I never check my final grades of my exams. I don't know why, because once I'm checked out of school, I think I just completely forget about school and I'm just like, whatever, it's done, the end. Just look at this color scheme, guys. It's so stunning, so beautiful. For some reason, I was being a little frisky with this build. I did these weird tile floors in the kitchen and I think I did it in the bathroom too. And it actually looked good because it kind of went with the color scheme. And then I decided to get decals. I don't know why I did this to myself. This is so much extra effort I didn't need to do. I put decals on the ceiling as checkerboard. Who knows why I did that? I could not tell you, but I did it and it looks good, so it doesn't matter. And then I also did weird wall siding that was super detailed. I would say the hardest part about this build though was finding decals to match. All the painting decals, I had to go to other people's inventories, and I ended up going on Pinterest and getting my own because I literally don't have this Victorian style art decal stuff. Because all my decals are like pastel graphic art. I'm gonna link all the decals in the description again because I used a lot of different people's. So if you want to use them, feel free. Chat, I think I have just met my future husband today. I was going to my class, as one does, because today is my math test. I just took it, and I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I did a little bad. Actually, no. There was a lot of memorization, so I wasn't sure if I did it right or not. I always blank out on tests. That's my worst quality. I can do everything before the test, but when I look at the test, I blank out. Everything goes horrible. But back to the story. I was walking to my class, and in between my classes, 2 different buildings, so there's this intersection hallway, and usually I just, walk to my class as one does. But I ran into my friend. So me and her stopped and we chatted for a little bit, for a good 5 minutes, right? And then as me and her said goodbye, this man, he made sure to get in front of me to open the door. Like he started speed walking to open the door and held it for me. And he smiled at me and I was like, wow, I love men today. It was amazing. I had a feeling. It's my future husband. He was very cute. Will I ever see him again? Probably not. Some reason when I'm stressed out, my way of soothing my stress, because right now it's exam season, as I said before, I love online shopping. When I online shop, you know how usually it says you have to spend this amount for free shipping? So I found this really cute set and I was like, ooh, that's really cute. And it was around $30. But then it said I had to spend $60 for free shipping. Do I pay the $10 shipping or do I spend another $30 for the free shipping? And here's the thing, right? I don't like spending money on shipping. If there's another incentive, if I spend a little more money and I get free shipping, it's better. Girl math. This is girl math right here. Because I don't want to get $10 for nothing. I want to put that $10 towards a nice outfit. So if I spend the extra $30 and buy maybe 2 more things, it's more worth it. Plus, it feels like a little gift to myself, even though I am paying for it. I'm only buying it because of the shipping, so therefore it's a gift. It's for me. It's a little extra something. So I went to add these 2 things to my cart and it said I was 50 cents short. Ah, girl, excuse me. So I was like, you know what? Okay, we're gonna go find the cheapest item and add something to my cart. I did not find the cheapest item. I found a really cute top and it was like another $10. So we went over a little bit more than 50 cents, but it's fine. I got my free shipping and all was good. But yeah, I definitely do spend a lot more money to avoid paying for shipping. It's okay. Usually the things I add to my cart are good stuff. Plus, sometimes I'll also do this where I'll just add stuff to my cart for the free shipping and then I just return it and then I get my money back. And still, I don't spend the money on shipping. That's kind of more effort though. I'm not afraid to return stuff. The post office people see me quite frequently. This is so random. One of the things on my Twitter that I've been seeing a lot recently has been Zendaya's press tour looks for her new movie Challengers. They were so good that it convinced me to go watch the movie. So my friend and I last weekend we went to go see it and the movie was so good. At the end, I was on the edge of my seat because there were so many random plot twists and you never really knew where it was going. Like, real cinema is back. It was really good. And her outfits in that movie were so cute. Ever since I got more into accessories and fashion, whenever I'm watching a movie or just on social media, I tend to pay attention to people's accessories and shoes and all that stuff. I feel like the average person, the first thing you'd look at is probably outfit or face, but for me it's like, what shoes are they wearing? What bracelet is that? What earring is that? Just really random stuff. But that movie was so good. It was about these tennis players, and after I watched that movie, my friend and I looked at each other and we were like, okay, we need to start playing tennis again. You know when you watch a movie, I'm trying to think, I watched Top Gun a while ago. It kind of has an underlying military propaganda, and I was like, dang, maybe I want to go in the Air Force. Like, this sounds fun. Or if you watch a sports movie, you just think after, I want to play that sport. It's fun. For me, it was tennis because they made tennis look so good in that movie. I was like, okay, I really want to play now. And because of this, I swear my phone listens to me and it tracks, which obviously that's normal. That is the phone's job. We were talking about tennis and then an hour later when I go on my phone, on my Pinterest, I see a tennis dress and I'm like, ooh, if I'm playing tennis this summer, I should get a tennis dress to accessorize a little bit. And then all over my Instagram was more of Zendaya's press looks and they were so good. I'll show you guys some on the screen. Her stylist is so good. I used to play tennis when I was little, so I think I'll be okay at it. And the good thing is my neighborhood does have tennis courts and pickleball, which is, it's kind of like tennis and badminton. I don't know how to explain it. But those courts in the summer, they are filled with, respectfully, old people. That's their leisure time, their little free recreational activity. And it's so funny because they get real competitive. My friend and I last summer, we were walking by and they were getting angry. I was like, dang, this is intense. Is this gonna be me when I get older? This is my new hobby. Last week, it was the piano because if you guys have watched La La Land, there's a song. I think it's just called Mia and Sebastian's Theme, but I love that song so much, so I wanted to learn it. I had a keyboard in my basement, and a really long time ago when I did play, I labeled all the keys with letters just so it was better to read because I don't remember how to read piano notes. They're just really complex and it takes a long time to learn. So I was like, how do I get a shortcut to do this? So I found this video where it showed all the steps of how to play that song on the piano, and I actually learned how to play the whole song. I felt so accomplished, so proud. I need to keep practicing so I don't forget it, but it's just such a flex when you're able to play the piano in front of other people. They're probably just like, wow, that's so good. Because I see videos on my TikTok and they're just so satisfying to watch. I think also to me, I just find the piano as one of the most romantic instruments. If my future husband knew how to play the piano, actually, let me rephrase that. My future husband will know how to play the piano because it is a requirement. I will instantly fall in love with you if you just start playing the piano. It's just amazing. But yeah, every week I try to do some random side hobby. Actually, it's not even on purpose. It just happens. I need to start reading a book. I started reading one of the Bridgerton books, which I mentioned earlier. It was When He Was Wicked. It's the one of Francesca. She's one of the newer Bridgerton people. Ruby, if you're watching this, hey girl. She peer pressured me to watch this for so long, but she won't read the book I want her to read, which is Once Upon a Broken Heart, because that book book is so good. She told me to read this and I was like, when I finish school, I'll start reading it. So when I'm at the gym, when I'm on my treadmill, I usually watch Netflix or I watch a random show. But I discovered that you can open the Kindle app on your phone and read books. So that's what I've been doing. I've been reading on the treadmill and it's quite nice actually. It makes time go by very fast. I ended up closing off one of the areas because I just didn't have time. I didn't feel like detailing anymore. My hands were done. My mind was done. I just checked out of this build. So we're doing the last bedroom now. I did a custom build hack from TikTok. I actually haven't done a TikTok hacks video in a while now, so maybe I'll do one in the future. I feel like this video is just gonna end up being a random collection of all my recent thoughts in this week because I've kind of gone everywhere. So we're just gonna keep going with that. If you guys have not watched Pearl Harbor, oh my god, that movie is so good. It's basically about Pearl Harbor, but there's a love triangle that goes with it. And the whole time I was watching the movie, the romance in there is so good. It's a 3-hour movie, but I wish it was longer. It was so good. So now my For You page is all edits and it's wonderful. The guys were so cute and the girl is so pretty. I was like, dang. It's kind of similar to Titanic where there's romance and it's about like an event. But I'm one of those people that haven't watched the Titanic. So after I watched Pearl Harbor, I was like, okay, maybe I should watch Titanic because it's just so hyped up and everyone knows about Jack and Rose hanging off the side of the boat or whatever. So I watched it and honestly, I feel like because my hopes were so high, I didn't think anything of it. Like it wasn't crazy good, but I did like her outfits. Rose had very cute outfits. Another thing I noticed was how far we've gone with editing and special effects because as a YouTuber, when I watch movies or anything in general, I always look at the editing and I'm like, ooh, is that a green screen? Is this? How did they make this happen? How did this work? I'm just so curious about everything. So when I was watching the Titanic, I noticed that when they were doing overhead shots of the boat and stuff, obviously it's not real because the Titanic sank, but it was very old 3D renderings of the ship. And it was funny because you could tell that the people that they were showing weren't actually real people. They were just rendered. And I was like, oh my god, I could tell. And then there was a part where they were running in the water and they took their faces and they stuck it on these other people. And it was so bad. Like the editing was so bad. I'm not a hater, but I just noticed. But it was also made in like 1997. So it's really old. But as an editor, I do notice those things. I feel like other people do too. But whenever I try to tell my friends, because they don't edit videos and stuff, they just look at me like, Noelle, why are you looking at that? But it's a part of my nature. But what are your guys' thoughts on the Titanic? And if you watched Pearl Harbor, let me know if you liked it because it was so good. I wish I could watch it again for the first time. There's so many things I wish I could watch again for the first time. Bruh. I have around 15 hours of footage, which ripped my storage, but that's pretty normal for my videos. In that case, I have finished the apartment, so I want to show you guys everything I've done, all the little details, and all my favorite parts. I would say this is probably a good rendition of my dream apartment, or at least my dream apartment in this style, which is Victorian. But I did add my own little twist, you know, the pink and whatnot. So here's the entryway. We have the storage shelf and then lots of flowers. I wanted to do something botanical. It's spring. Cherry blossom trees are everywhere, so it's very fitting that we add that too. And then I did make a custom piano. I think because I've taken up piano lately, I wanted to put one in this house. And we had this tiny little corner, so it spoke to me that I needed to add a piano. If you guys want a tutorial for this, maybe I will do it in a TikTok hacks video if I ever get around to it. As you can tell, very little details everywhere. A lot of decals and custom basic shape stuff. These, I don't even know how much they cost, but I would say it probably added a good 60k value to the house because they're literally everywhere, like all around. But here, as you keep walking, here is the kitchen, the living room, just the whole main open area where you would hang out. When I was watching Bridgerton, I noticed that they had this big open space to hang out, so it just kind of made sense to do that here. So we have a dining table, and yes, our meal is bows. I didn't want to put something like food on the plate because it just kind of wouldn't match the aesthetic because you can't pick the colors. So I added a bow because, yeah. I also saw a picture on Pinterest. I'll show you. That's where I got it from. I think it was Love Shack Fancy or something. And then we did this custom archway kitchen design because with all the custom stuff I had, this is custom too. And then there's just so much random custom stuff. It just didn't make sense to add the really big clunky cabinet. So I did my own little arch thing. And then these are decals. I will link them in the description too. I love these flowers. And we have this floral wall imprint everywhere just to add on to the Victorian theme. And this is the part I was talking about with the decals that I decided to just go crazy on. I think it looks good. It offsets the floor. This color scheme is a little different for me, but it looks very cute. Pretend you didn't see that. You open, this is the storage room. There's a real Akuma in there. I think maybe I'll start secretly hiding them in my builds. Here is the living room. Let's just take a moment for the ceiling. I wanted to accent the kitchen a little bit in here, so we have the kitchen floor up here and then following the checkerboard ceiling tiles. This is a decal and these are the paneling again to add some dimension to the build, and we have the fireplace with all the old Victorian paintings. I really hope it's Victorian. Victorian theme. If I'm wrong, then I'm gonna slap myself. But I saw a collage of this on Pinterest, so I recreated it. I love Pinterest. It is my home. Back in like the old days, whatever you want to call it, guys used to carry around briefcases. They still do in the business districts, but I don't see that here. So just a lot of papers and files everywhere. I don't know what it's trying to signify, but yeah. Then we have some paintings, more of the pink design. And this pattern just kind of matched. It looks similar to screens or a paneling that you'd see on a wall. I don't know what you'd call it, but it just made sense because I did these arches, so it went with the theme. And then this is one of the hallways to the bedroom and the bathroom, but we have another cute little carpet. And then I added this mirror decal because it just matches. It's got a little bow, so it matches the dinner we have served over here. But first, let's go, we'll check out the bathroom. So here's the bathroom. It's pretty simple. This is custom. It's just basic shapes stacked all together to make a shelf, and then I used that decal once again for the backing. Pretty standard shower. At this point, I was kind of losing my mind, so I didn't really want to do too much detail. I was at like the 10-hour mark here. I was clocked out, okay? My shift was over. But we have a custom counter too. The counters are too clunky for a small space like this, so I just made a smaller, thinner one with the cute little sink. And then it connects into this twin bedroom, so if you want to roleplay, you have extra space. And I really love this because the beds aren't the same, but they look very similar. It goes well together with the color scheme. And then I found these on Pinterest too. They're embroidered napkins. In this case, they're just cloths or whatever you want to call it, hanging on the wall for design. And we have a lot of paintings everywhere. Check this out. Ready? This is my favorite part of the build. The balcony. It's got the flowers everywhere. In this build specifically, I did a lot more detail and cluttered just because it makes sense. I wanted it to look lived in. I love when rooms feel full. My bedroom in real life is so empty right now. The walls are gray. They're blank. So I need to definitely decorate my room in some way. I gotta get on that. I'm too busy decorating my Bloxburg homes. I don't even decorate my actual room. Here's the master bedroom. A very large size bed. I would say king size in this case because we added these beams. I don't remember what it's called. You get the idea. It's a large bed. This wall has the pink accent because it's the master bedroom, and it has its own little custom animal prints, and then flowers because yeah, roses. French roses. It's me, guys. Here's another balcony. There's a balcony in the living room too. Get a nice view of that stop sign over there. I would say this is probably in, top. You know what? I say that every video. I need to stop. We're gonna stop right there. I will see you guys in the next video.
You know you love me. XOXO.
French Roses girl.